What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness.
So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel.
So let's start this video with 13 weeks out physique update from the Persian Wolf and the former Mr. Olympia Hadi Chopan. Now a lot of people out there, they think that Hadi Chopan is the most dangerous guy who is gonna step on this year's Olympia stage. First of all, because of his consistency. You can bet your money that Hadi Chopan is gonna be 100% on in terms of condition. And even if the man isn't on, by his own standards, he's still in a better condition than most of the guys on that Mr. Olympia stage. And that is something you simply cannot say about any other guy, except for maybe the mutant Nick Walker. Out of those potential top 6 guys, Hadi is the most consistent one. Secondly, because of his insane muscle quality, the kind of density that he has. No one can match that. And finally, because of one simple reason. He's the only one out of those top 6 guys who hasn't competed this year. He skipped this year's Arnold despite the fact that he was the reigning Arnold champion. And there was a lot of money on the line. He took that entire year off. And a lot of hard work has been put in during this past off season. And Hadi, knowing that he did not get beat by Samson Dauda last year when he was 100% on. And that was at the Arnold, Ohio last year. That is gonna be added motivation that he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back better than ever. And he's gonna reclaim his Olympia throne. Now I think we can all agree that there is nobody out there who trains heavier and harder, arguably, than Hadi Chopan. He's a true monster in the gym. The man trains like an absolute animal. And that is something that has reflected on his physique every single time he steps on stage. And that is gonna be on display one more time at this upcoming Mr. Olympia in October. Now at this point there are still some concerns whether Hadi is gonna get his visa for the US or not. But the fact that things have kind of settled down in the Middle East, we have to be positive that he's gonna be there one more time for the 7th consecutive year in his career. Now Hadi Chopan is definitely among the top 3. The most impressive, most muscular shots in pro bodybuilding scene, not just right now, probably in the history of the sport. And this time, he's gonna be bigger in the legs department and possibly bring a better back too. Because that back is the one area where he loses to both Derek and the mutant. And that is something that he has to fix. He needs to come in tighter and more conditioned from the back. Now the blueprint for Hadi Chopan, that is already there. His Arnold, Ohio look from last year. And if he can bring that same look, if he can replicate that, he's gonna be fighting for the Olympia title. There is no doubt about that. So Patrick Moore is now under 3 weeks out of this upcoming Tampa Pro, his 3rd show of the season. And most people would not even be talking about him. I mean, most people, they aren't even talking about him now. But the reason I'm saying that is because he delivered a very impressive performance at this past Legion Sports and placing 2nd behind Tonio Burton, beating the likes of Bruno Santos, Leandro Perez, and Florian Pearson. So the look that he brought at this past Legion Sports, that certainly made him more relevant one more time in the bodybuilding world, because that was a super package presented by Patrick Moore by every standard. So hopefully he can beat that look at this upcoming Tampa Pro show, especially in terms of bringing more muscle and more fullness, while at the same time being just as conditioned, or maybe even better than that, at this upcoming Tampa Pro and Texas Pro, because both these shows are certainly gonna be more harder than the Legion Sports. I mean, just look at the competition here and the diversity. We have guys like Quentin Beastwood, who has such great overall aesthetics and such beautiful lines. But at the same time, he's way bigger than Patrick Moore. And we have seen how Patrick has struggled because of the lack of size for most part of his pro career. And up until the Legion Sports, he was struggling to hit his peak too, especially the way he did back at the Olympia 2019. This was probably the first time he brought that same kind of look, or something similar to that. Plus, it isn't just Quentin. We have guys like Justin Shire in there too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Patrick is coaching himself for this one. And this has been going really well so far, as he just presented a physique very similar to his Olympia 2019 debut look, which was undoubtedly the best look of his career. So his back looks really good in this most recent update. So Patrick has to make sure he shows up with enough fullness and roundness. So remember last year's Europa Pro, and Patrick was very sharp in that show. but he was so underwhelming in terms of size in that lineup, and that is why he wasn't even in that top 5. Next up, we have a 13 weeks out physique update from Rafael Brundal. So the Olympia top 10 this year, that is gonna be absolutely stacked. And big question mark on where Rafael Brundal is gonna place after his highest placing last year, which was top 8 behind William Bonac. Now we have to keep in mind he did beat a former Mr. Olympia, Brandon Carey, at the Olympia last year. Even though we get that Brandon was very off at the Olympia last year, and we have been waiting for Rafael Brundal to come into his zone for so many years now. And although he was top 8 in the world last year, that was still a disappointing finish for him because he himself was aiming for top 5. So I guess with the mutant coming back, he's obviously gonna be in the mix for the top 5 spots. And the aim of Rafael Brundal of cracking top 5, that is gonna be even more difficult this year. But Rafael Brundal has 100% got some serious strengths. He doesn't have any weak shots. The man is very complete from every angle. He has those beautiful aesthetic lines. All he lacks is overall mass and thickness, especially in comparison to the top guys. But keep in mind, he qualified for the Olympia this year by winning Romania Pro last year, and he had an entire off-season that was planned just to put on more muscle and get considerably bigger. So he's supposed to show up a lot bigger than last year. Now that being said, he doesn't look very overwhelming this far out of the show, because he isn't the biggest guy in the men's open, but he definitely has some of the best lines for this kind of frame. So the big advantage that Rafael Brundal has over some of these other guys, like for instance Samson Dauda and Andrew Jack, that is his age. He is still in his early 30s, so in 5 years time, he's gonna be in his prime, while some of these top guys, they are gonna be retired. Next up, we have an update from the giant killer, Shawn Karido, the 2 times 212 Olympia champion. So is Shawn feeling any kind of added pressure? Because this might be the first time in his career where even that second place spot at the Olympia, that is going to be challenged by someone like Nihat, possibly by Middleman too. Now Shawn will be turning 43 in September. So he's fighting against the age and against all these young guys. And so far he has been doing a very good job at it, especially after pairing up with Stefan as his coach. There hasn't been any drop of size, especially in the legs department. The kind of density and the muscle maturity that he has, that is top notch. One of the best out there. But one thing that is guaranteed is that he has been training very hard since the Arnold this year. And the density will 100% allow him to fight for that second place spot one more time at this upcoming Mr. Olympia in the 212. So I have one question for you guys. Can he replicate that same 2022 Olympia winning physique one more time after 3 years? Well, I think it's gonna get harder and harder, especially with that age thing. Now that being said, he's easily the hottest and the most grainy looking guy in the entire 212 class. And nobody can be more muscular than Shawn. I mean, the guy is 5'2", absolutely loaded with muscles on top of muscles. So Shawn has now been runner-up at the Olympia in the last couple of years in a row. So do you guys think he can stay on the top for one more year? Next up, we have an update from Hunter Labrada. So Hunter did something that many top bodybuilders, they are very afraid to do, and that is taking the entire year off, considering he presented the best physique of his entire career last year at the Olympia. So this is easily a top 5 physique at the Olympia in any kind of lineup. And based on the prejudging last year, he was beating Andrew Jack and he was fighting Martin Fitzwater. But the thing is, he did not get better from the prejudging to the finals. In fact, he got worse. So that goes to show us that Hunter is yet to hit his 100% potential. And the man is on his way to do that possibly at the Arnold, Ohio next year. So if we look at his physique from the Olympia 2021, when he placed top 4, that is like an amateur level physique compared to how he looked last year at the Olympia. And that was the extent of his overall improvements. Now his absence from this year's Mr. Olympia, that will definitely allow the competition to fight for that 6th place. But get ready to see the very best of Hunter, hopefully at the Arnold, Ohio next year. Now he hasn't done that show throughout his career, and he was initially very interested in doing that show after the Olympia last year, before he decided to get his shoulder fixed. So who do you guys think is gonna take Hunter's spot at this upcoming Mr. Olympia? So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.